Hello friends, and welcome to The Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you maybe already know from the thumbnail you saw for this video that this is my response video. This is a video that I use to try to extract or distill a central message from my larger spread of the week. And that larger spread of the week for this year has been a Lenormand spread. I'm in the middle of a deep dive into the Lenormand system. And so I did that spread, I did that reading, and it was a good reading, and I think it was a pretty crisp reading considering all the moving parts. But still, I like to get a little confirmation. I like to get a little bit of a second opinion, even maybe, from a different system. And so I do this video. But I still highly recommend that you go and watch that video first before you come back and watch this one, so that you know why I'm reading these cards in the way that I am reading them. So I'll put a card, speaking of cards, I'll put a card up here for you to click on and hop over and watch that video first and then come back. Yeah, and remember, you don't have to watch these videos in one sitting. If you want, you can watch them in bits and pieces and then come back and watch this one. And just in case you have already done that, you may already have, and maybe you did watch it in bits and pieces and you want a quick little refresher about what it was you saw. Yeah, the title for that video, I recall, is The Unknown Path. And it was a little bit of a challenging spread. It seemed to be indicating that we get a message which spurs us to need to make a choice. And the choice seems to be between doing the work that we have been doing, and we've loved doing the work. The work that we've done has brought us joy, has brought us love, or the new thing. Choose the path of our destiny. Choose the path of doing something new. And it doesn't necessarily mean quit your job and do something else. It could be within the context of your job, instead of doing it the way we have been doing it, choosing a new way of doing it, which will move us in the direction of our, I say destiny, in the direction that we have pointed our intention towards. I think that's the way I really want to say this, that we have selected a path of intention for ourselves, consciously or unconsciously, that is calling of us our evolution. And we're going to be called to make the choice. Are we going to continue following the path that we have laid out for ourselves, again, either consciously, unconsciously, or even with the guidance of the eternal natures that we are, our spiritually placed path? Or are we going to continue doing what we're doing as we have been doing it? And we get to make that choice. That choice very strongly seems to be grounded in us. We're not going to be forced to make the choice, but we are spurred to make the choice, and the choice is ours to make. And not choosing is a choice, right? So, to help us unpack that question, I lay out a spread. And I've got this spread all laid out for us today. But before we look at the spread, let me say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for doing those things that you do, for hitting the thumbs up button, for subscribing to the channel. Those things that you do help YouTube to decide to show our community to other people, and they join us and we expand. Commenting below also does the same thing. It helps YouTube show us to other people, and we grow. And we have been growing, thanks to you. So thank you very much for doing those things that you do. So, friends, what are we going to do now? I'm going to show you the spread. And we'll talk about the cards, we'll talk about the decks, and then we will break the spread down into its two major component parts, and we will read those parts together. Yes, parts is parts. Are you ready? Here is this week's spread right now. Friends, do you know either one of these decks? I'll bet you know at least one of them. One of them is a very, very popular, well-published, well-received, beautiful deck that I also love called the Light Seers Tarot. And yes, I pulled out my Light Seers Tarot for this week because I just wanted to. Yeah? I love this deck. It's, I'm not sure I would call it my soul deck, but it's pretty close. It's soul deck adjacent for me. It's a deck that I really love using and that I love working with, and I love when I've started doing my study of the relationship between tarot and alchemy and the alchemy of tarot. This along with the Smith-Waite deck was probably the most useful tool for me for many ways. And if you're curious about why that is, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll do a video about that. But I love this deck. I really, really do. I love the colors. I love the design. I love the repeated symbols throughout the deck. So you can see how you get a lot of visual information and interplay between the cards with this deck in particular. Yeah, it's just a wonderful deck to use, I think. And so I wanted to pull this deck out for this week, and so there they are. And there will be a link in the description box below. Just head on over to Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever you get your books and decks and type in Light Seers Tarot. It'll be there. It'll be relatively inexpensive, easy to get, lovely deck. And the other deck, the Oracle deck, which you saw below, laid out in a very unique way, is the Wild Harmonic Oracle, which is going to get a revamped guidebook sometime in the near future. And so I've been playing with this deck a little bit more recently, and I thought this would be a good time to pull that out. Because we were looking at paths and crossroads and paths and choosing, and there's a really cool spread that is in the newer guidebook, which I got a hold of, and that spread in that guidebook, it's called the Vesca Pisces spread, seemed really appropriate for this week. So I pulled out that deck and I pulled out those cards and I laid a spread. Now, just in case you are new here, the three cards you saw above were in a positional spread. Yeah, the first card is significance, the significant answer to the question, what is the central message of this week's spread? That's the answer. The second card is a challenge, a positive challenge, something we want to reach for or try to attain, or a negative challenge, something that's going to stand in our way, something that blocks our path. The third card is our advice. Significance, challenge, advice. Pretty standard, right? The three cards below are in a Vesca Pisces spread, and they're round, right? And I will read these cards directionally. So the card on the left is the one pillar of a door. We can think of these two circles forming a path in between. A Vesca Pisces, what is that? It's where two circles join each other, and they form a kind of almond shape in the center where they overlap. And that we can think of that almond shape as a portal through in the direction that we want to go. You get why I chose this spread for this particular week, the choice, the path, right? So the card on the right is one of the pillars of the portal. The card on the left is the other contrasting pillar of the portal. If you can also think of it as like the mother pillar and the father pillar of the tree of life, and the path in between those, which is the central path, which is the path of the path of the moderate path, the path forward, which is that third card that was above, right? So we're going to read these two sets of cards in those two sets of ways. So are you all ready, friends? What I'm going to do, I will show you the three tarot cards once more so you get a really good up-close view of them, and then we'll read them together. Are you ready? Here they are. I just got to say it. I love this deck. I love the colors. I just love the deck. And so the cards you saw from left to right were the Two of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the King of Pentacles. Two Pentacles, right? And if I wanted to, I could have fudged this and said, oh, well, these are the two columns, and then the path center is the central path is the path forward with the Chariot. And I guess that's possible, but that wasn't the intention that I slayed these cards with. So we're going to read these cards with the intention that they were laid. So the first card is the answer to our question, what is the central message for this Lenormand Spread, this lovely Two of Pentacles? We see the lady there swinging two discs on very, very fine threads, right? And one of them looks like the sun, and one of them looks like maybe a water vessel, right? That's what I see. So we've got the idea of fire and water being juggled here. Her water vessel and the sun, yeah? Love her. I love her outfit. I've just got to say, she's got a great outfit. I love her hair. She's out there in the middle of what looks like a white desert with a red sky. Such a vibrant deck. And what is the Two of Pentacles? Okay, first, I'm going to start adding a little bit more astrology into my readings of tarot as time moves on. And for those of you who are bound to the Golden Dawn associations, you might get irritated. Just saying, because I'm not going to flow with the Golden Dawn associations. I'm not a Chaldean reader of astrology. I am traditional triplicities of decanates kinds of reader. Yeah, so for me, the three planets that are associated with the earth signs, Pentacles are the earth signs, would be Venus for Taurus, yeah? What's the next one? What is the next one? Oh, yes. Mercury for Virgo, I'm sorry. And then Saturn for Capricorn. Those three planets, right? So each one of the signs has three houses, has three domiciles, I should say. Has three houses. No, three domiciles. I'm sorry. Okay, brain. Has three domiciles, three decans, yeah? And the first decan would be, for example, so here we are. Here we are with the Two of Pentacles. And Pentacles, Two of Pentacles is in the house of Capricorn. And there are three decans. The first decan would be Capricorn of Capricorn. Capricorn's home, which would be Saturn in Capricorn. The next one, the two, is going to be the Tauran decan. So that brings Venus into Capricorn. And then the third would be Virgo, the Virgo decan of Capricorn, which would bring Mercury into Capricorn. But here we have the Tauran decan of Capricorn, which brings Venus into Capricorn. Yeah? So what does that say? What is Venus in Capricorn? What is Taurus in Capricorn telling us? It says we've got staying power. And it's helpful for us. But there's a caution against materialism here. We want to be sure that we don't get attached to stuff, right? We don't want to have either emotional we don't want to have emotional attachment to stuff, to the material, because that would move us away from our developments emotionally and spiritually. We would start cutting off our emotional and spiritual self by focusing too much on the matter of stuff. Yeah, they would fall by the wayside, and we don't want that. But we do want us to have that staying power of the Tauran as we do our work in Capricorn. Yeah? We also have the complement of Saturn in Leo, which means that Leo, the creative one, right? The enjoyable. Let's play. Let's have fun. Let's be creative. Let's do stuff. Let's put on a show. Let's be the star. And Capricorn says, no, we've got these rules, we've got this box, we've got to stay in, we've got to keep ourselves organized, right? And Leo doesn't like that. It's very frustrating. So there's a little bit of frustration here, being boxed in and having to conform to rules. So what does that mean for us here? Up until now, we've been doing the juggling of things, right? Which is generally what the Two of Pentacles is, right? It's multitasking, it's balancing stuff out, juggling our projects, our priorities, having to, and it's not a fixed juggling, right? It's having to be adaptable to things. The way her body seems to sway to be able to juggle these two opposing elements of fire and water here, the sun and the water vessel. We also had to manage our times, right? Prioritize our tasks. That's what we're doing now, in the here and now, right? Kind of makes sense. The challenge is the Chariot. And what is the Chariot? The Chariot is our willpower, and moving towards success, towards victory. It's an action. Our challenge is to take action, but especially mental action, because for me, the Chariot is not associated with Cancer, but with Gemini. And you might think, what? What are you talking about, Gemini? Okay, so why is that? Well, for one reason, the numbers of the cards are important, right? And Chariot is number 7. It's not number 8. It's not number 6. It's number 7. And the Golden Dawn puts the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet on card 0, not on card 1. And sure, that can be meaningful for many people. But for me, I want to have Aleph on the Magician. I want to have Bet on the High Priestess. And so here, 7 is Zayin, which is what? It's a sword. It's the thing that cuts, that distinguishes. It's the cutting up of things. It's a mental action, right? Gemini. It's the cutting up of time. But it's also the discernment of ideas. So the Chariot asks us to discern as well. Makes perfect sense to me as the Chariot. And Zayin is also related to the rune Kanaz, which is what? It's enlightenment. It's visions, it's revelations, and inspiration, and the wisdom that comes along with that. Kanaz is also our passion and our vitality, perfect for the Chariot. So we're passionate, we're vital, we're active. We make clear decisions. We bring these horses together. We are able to discern between the white horse and the black horse and which direction they tend to be going in, and we use our willpower to bring them together to go into the direction that we have chosen for ourselves. That is the challenge, to move in the direction that we want to go in. With discernment, with the enlightenment of Kanaz and the sharp discerning sword of Zayin. And remember, that's associated with Gemini, because when Gemini is happy and comfortable, Gemini is able to look at many different ideas and is able to organize them and bring them together. But when Gemini is not in a good space, then everything goes to fuck, right? There's so many things, ideas flying around that don't know what to do. Can't make decisions. But when Gemini is focused and is in a good space, Gemini is able to bring those ideas together, like this horseman is able to bring these horses together and move in a direction. Diverse ideas can be brought together and activated to go in the direction we want to go. Just like the chariot. It makes so much more sense than Cancer to me, just saying. Okay, so we've got this need to be careful of not being overly concerned with the material realm, but still, we do the balancing, we enjoy the work that we're doing in Capricorn. Right? We have the staying power of the fixed Earth's vital, the fixed aspect of cardinal Earth's vital attributes entering our spread here with the Two of Coins, the Two of Pentacles. Right? Fixed Earth, Taurus. Cardinal Earth, Capricorn. The fixed aspect of cardinal Earth, the stick-to-itiveness, the endurance of Taurus in the cardinal direction of Capricorn, right? And so what's the advice? What do we want to lean into? We want to lean into the King of Pentacles. Which is what? It's wealth. It's also security. But it's also discipline and abundance and leadership. It's powerful and enterprising. The King of Pentacles is able to open up to new possibilities, not stuck in doing the things that the King of Pentacles has done up until this moment. He is established, yes, and remember, we're all kings, we're all queens, we're all knights, we're all pages. Doesn't matter whether we're in a male body, a female body, a trans body, a cis body, an intersex body. It doesn't matter. We're all of those things. And so we are the established one. We are the enterprising one, but we're also the powerful leader and the one who is moving in the direction of creating the new. Instability. Yes? And for me, the King of Pentacles is also Tauran. Yeah? The kings are the fixed elements, the fixed court cards, right? The Queen is the cardinal, which would be Cancer. The Queen of Pentacles would be, the Queen of Pentacles would be, would be Capricorn. Yes, the Queen is Capricorn, the King is Taurus, and the Knight is Virgo. Yeah? So, here we have the King, Taurus. The advice is to enhance our Tauran aspects of us within the Cancer, within Cancer, not the Cancer, within Cancer of the Two of Pentacles. So, what does that mean? It means enjoying what we're doing. Taking some time to enjoy the sensual nature of the world around us. Enjoy the food that we're eating, the things that we're drinking, the beauty that's around us, and be steadily moving forward at our own pace. We don't want to feel rushed. We don't want to feel like we have to meet somebody else's timeline, but we do move forward. And when it's time to move in another direction, we move in that direction. Or not. It's our choice. Because it is our choice, right? We are the fixed ones of the earth in this spread. Does that make sense to you? Where we get the challenge is to get our mind together and choose our direction, but enjoy the movement forward. The advice is enjoying the movement and having this stick-to-itiveness and the stability of purpose. Not the stability of doing the same thing over and over and over again, but the stability of purpose to keep moving one foot in front of the other in the direction that we have chosen to move in. Because we've chosen with the chariot, right? Does that make sense? So friends, let me show you the 3 oracle cards. Again, the beautiful cards. And we'll talk about those. Okay, friends, here we go. Here they are. Friends, you know, sometimes in this series of videos, I will use the oracle cards to modify or to help us unpack the tarot cards above. We're not doing that this time. Right, this time we're using these 3 oracle cards, these round cards, in a different spread to help open the portal that is indicated by the 3 cards above. And if we were to think of those 3 cards above as the portal, which I said I wasn't going to do, we would see at one point, at one side of the portal, we have our balancing of things, we have our Tauran aspect of Capricorn, which is moving forward, doing the work, having our staying power, balancing things, time management. And on the other side, we have our King of Pentacles, which is stable and strong and able to do the new thing, doesn't need to worry about time management because he is the time, he is the management. He's got it all under control and he is able to move forward. And remember, we're all he's, we're all she's, we're all they's. Okay? Okay. So, and the path through is the chariot, right? The path through that portal, the direction we want to go is to bring those 2 things together and move forward. Yeah? Makes sense? So, what do these 3 cards below tell us? What are the 2 sides of the portal? Well, on one side of the portal, we had Spirit of Dimensional. And if you want an explanation of this deck, if you want me to do a deep dive into this deck, let me know in the description box below, and maybe we'll do that. It wouldn't be this month, but maybe the next month. Maybe. We'll see. No, I might have something planned for next month. Anyways, let me know in the description box below if you want me to do a deep dive into this oracle deck. But one side we have Spirit of Dimensional, is one pillar of the door. The opposite pillar of the door is Shadow of Air. They make a wonderful pairing, I think, as more of a light and dark. Yeah? And then the central path through was Water of Air, which is interesting because if we thought of the tarot cards above, the path through was Gemini, which is an air sign. Right? So we got Water of Air being the path through to the direction we want to go. But let's look at the light side of the portal with this Spirit of Dimensional. Lovely, lovely image. And this card was upright. Yeah? So the subtitle of Spirit of Dimensional is what? It's entering discovery. Yeah, it's discovering the new, which seemed really clear in the Lenormand spread that we read, right? The new, we will be discovering that thing. So this card tells us to break free of our assumptions and see the world with new eyes. Remember the child card in the Lenormand spread? The new eyes, the new sight. Breaking free of our assumptions. And we want to ask ourselves, what if we don't understand as much as we think? in the work that we're doing now, what if we don't really understand as much as we think? And when we consider the other possibility, the other choice, what if the fear we might feel around that is because we don't understand as much as we think? So it's something to think about. We want to be open to learning. We want to be grateful, even for the unknown. Remember the unknown path, right? The unknown choice. We want to be grateful for that unknown thing. And we want to embrace opportunity. That's on one side of the door, right? We want to return to innocence. And that return is beneficial for us. Our curiosity and discovery are king for us now. What's out there? What is possible? We want to have a very open but clear perception of what we're looking at, and know that we don't necessarily understand what all of that is, even though we see it. So we want to continue with curiosity and discovery and observation. And what is this thing called? Love? Yeah? What's going on here? Be open to that. And on the other side of that, we have this wonderful Shadow of Air card, which is subtitled Bleeding Together. And it was facing this way. It was facing to the right. I think this is right for you. Now, how I read... okay, let me tell you how I read round decks directionally. Upright is upright. Yeah? Pointing down means something that we are rejecting or something that we are resisting. Something pointing to the right means something that we're trying too hard to achieve. Something we're giving too much energy to. Something pointing to the left, something pointing, what are your directions? This is right for you, this is left for you, this is right for you, right? This is left. So things that are pointing to the right, this way, things that are pointing to the right are, again, things we're striving too hard for, we're trying too hard to do. Things pointing to the left are things that we're not trying hard enough for. Now we're being a little bit lazy, we're sitting on our heels. So this card was pointing to the right. So that means that it's something we're giving too much energy to. And what is this? Bleeding together. It's relationships shaped by suffering. Surrounding ourselves with people that keep our wounds open. So whatever our wounds are, the people that we use, to give ourselves importance by keeping our pain alive, rather than healing it. Have you ever seen other people do that? They walk around with their wounds as badges and showing them off as, I am the sufferer of this. I am the wounded one. I am the one who has experienced these tragedies in my life. And see how important I am because of the pain I feel. I have felt and I still feel because I am the wounded one. And we bring people together who support our wounds. Not support us, not support our healing, but support our wounds and who lift us up for our wounds, right? Have you seen that happen around you? Have you noticed where you have done that yourself? We all do it to one extent or another. Even temporarily, we expand our egos with our wounds, with our pain, with our trauma. And we have problems letting go of suffering, right? Instead, and we use that to defend ourselves. We defend ourselves with our wounds. I am discriminated against. I am the sufferer of, I am the victim, yes? We defend ourselves and our behaviors with our wounds. So are we encouraging processing of our pain for healing, or are we constantly revisiting it, reliving it, and bringing it out and showing this is me, this is me, and this is my pain, and this pain is what makes me valuable, what makes me important, what makes me worthy of your attention and help and healing, and well, not healing, but help and attention, right, and interest. Without my wound, I'm not interesting enough, right? It's addiction to victimhood and our misery as a status symbol. And it's a cycle of pain. And because the more we show our pain to the world, the more we value our pain, the more we value our victimhood, the more opportunities we'll have to be victims, right? And we're not going to heal that, because that is our badge of honor. We heal it, it's not going to be valuable to us anymore. We won't get the attention we have been getting up until now. So on the other side of that door is this, and this is something that we have been giving too much attention to, that getting attention for our pain, getting attention for our trauma, getting attention for being the victim. So on one side, we've got that spirit of dimensional entering discovery, wanting to see the new and knowing that we don't know everything. On the other side, we have our self-validation with our wounds and our traumas. The old and the new. So what's the central path? What's the path between? The path between is this one, which is water of air, which is collective insight. And this is pointed to the left. Yes, I think I'm holding this up right for you, correctly for you. This is pointing to the left, which means this is something we have not been giving enough attention to. Right? Collective insight. So this card is telling us what? To seek wisdom beyond self. We may need a broader perspective. That makes sense, right? We want to engage in dialogue, refining our ideas with collaboration. We don't have to do this alone. Wisdom will grow through our exchange with other people with this card. Yeah, this is not the do it alone card. This is the find collaborators, find co-creators, because everything in this universe is a co-creation, right? That we do nothing alone. And so this is another reminder that there is assistance out there, and we don't have to get that assistance by showing them, other people, how pitiful we are, or how much pain we've suffered, or how much trauma we've experienced. We can find the help by expressing our curiosity. We can find the collaborator by expressing our interest. And the question we want to ask ourselves is, are we contributing to the wisdom of the collective within the systems we are part of? Are we contributing to the wisdom of the collective within the systems that we are part of? Are we adding to those systems, whether it's our work system, our family system, our social system, the society at large? Are we adding to the collective wisdom or not? So this isn't just the card of getting help from other people. It's also adding our own wisdom to the collective voice. And nature is a great teacher. The woods, the ocean, plant life, animal life, being around nature is a great teacher. So we want to seek diverse perspectives. That is what will be helpful for us. Seeking diverse perspectives, looking to getting wisdom from other people, but also looking to add our wisdom to the collective as well. Being an ecosystem of give and take is the path forward. Somewhere between the curious child and the wound bearer. Yeah? Between the innocent child and the wound bearer. That might be the title of this video. We want, if we can find the path forward. And remember, that path forward is one of enjoyment of nature. That's also the King of Pentacles. Yeah, the King of Pentacles is not only enjoying what he has in his apartment or his house or his room, but also out in nature, enjoys the smells of trees and the feel of the salt air on his face. Remember, you're a him, I am a him, we're all hims, we're all hers, we're all thems, right? So we place ourselves in the body of the King of Pentacles and we feel the sensual beauty of this physical universe. And we listen and we seek collaboration and we add to collaboration to find our path through to the new. That seems pretty clear. And it seems to validate the choice of the star, right? Finding our path forward to our self-determined destiny. Does that make sense? If it does, let me know in the comments below. If it does not, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. How would you read these cards? How would you read the 3 tarot cards? If not the whole spread, how would you read the 3 tarot cards above? If you have a different way of reading astrologically, instead of fighting with me, just tell me what you would see astrologically in these 3 cards. And how would that just slightly shift your reading of the cards, or would it completely turn it on end? Let me know. So friends, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this journey. In just a moment, my web's address and the QR code for my online tarot shop will be right there before your eyes. So take a look at that. Hop on over to my shop. You can take a look at what I have to offer. If you have some suggestions about what you would like me to offer, let me know in the comments below. And now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.